Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. And welcome to Sunday's edition of the MUFC Daily. And welcome to my Chelsea versus Manchester United preview. Now, this is huge. Even though Ralph isn't officially our manager yet, this is huge because we can't lose this game. We're so far behind, we can't allow Chelsea to get too far away from us or the other the other teams. So I can't get my words out, my throat's killing me, but I'm here, which is the main thing, isn't it? So, a win would be tremendous, but Chelsea are an amazing team. They are the European champions. It's going to be difficult, but they can be got at. There's no question about that. Chelsea, the team, can be got at. Now, we've seen other teams get at them, so they are defensively very astute, but they can let their guard down at times as well. We've got some of the best attackers in world football, so there's no reason we can't take advantage of that. One of the problems with Ralph not taking over for this game and Carrick being in charge, it's volleyball. It's anti-football. It's the same thing. Being defensive and hoping for a counter and getting a goal, defending well or relying on David De Gea, correction, I always get it wrong. It's not David, is it? It's David De Gea on saving us like he did against Villarreal midweek. Is it possible? Is it possible to beat Chelsea? Of course it is. I want you to remember something. Now they know Ralph's coming. They know now they're on trial. They know they have to perform week in, week out. And even if some of them were upset for not being consulted and for his appointment, but why would you consult footballers? It's a bit weird. Maybe you would let the captain know, but still, there's no kind of reason why you have to tell anyone. So, it's a club decision. They're players. They just have to play and play well and do their job, and everything will be all right. And it doesn't really matter if they're happy about the decision or they wanted to be consulted or not. But a huge game that we have to show. We have to show that we have got great players. We talk about Chelsea being a great team and saying how tough this game is going to be. But at the end of the day, when you look at our players, they should be able to go out there, manager or no manager, and do a job. I would state that our players are better than Chelsea's sorry, let me say that again. Our players are better than Chelsea's players. But that's individually. And individuals don't win games. You think individuals can win games, but Cristiano Ronaldo needs someone to put a cross in or thread a ball in for him, right? Maybe he could take a great shot from outside the box, but that's not really who Ronaldo is anymore. He's an out-and-out forward. So even though we have individuals, you've got to, even if you score an individual goal, if you don't play as a team, that goal will be cancelled out by somebody else scoring 2 or 3 times from the opposition. So it's very important we play as a team, that we're disciplined, but we do actually have some offensive play, which we didn't really have much with Carrick midweek, and we had basically very little, dictating of the offensive play. It's all being reactive, being on the counter. And I agree, Ralph is a kind of counter-attacking manager. It's about pressing, getting the ball, and getting up there as quick as possible, taking a shot, making a chance, and scoring. So it's still counter-attacking football, but the difference is we'll be playing football under Ralph. So what is my prediction? What is my score prediction for today's game? I think, and obviously this is a receipt, and when I do tomorrow's MUFC Daily, it could be very, very exposing for me. I think we're going to win 1-0. I think maybe Ronaldo scoring, but anyone, it may be Sancho, maybe anyone could score. I think this is a 1-0 game. I think this is a game that we can win. I think if Ralph wasn't announced, I don't think this is a game we would have won. But footballers are all about following instructions, but if those instructions are bad, how can you expect them to do the business? But it's also about motivation. Knowing that Ralph's coming in, they are going to be motivated to perform. So I think this is an advantage to us now. We are Manchester United. We shouldn't allow clubs like Chelsea and City to, roll us over. Because historically, Chelsea and City are not great football clubs. I know recently with Abramovich and the people who own City, it's a different story. So I want us to go there today, be strong, be steely, but be able offensively to cause them problems as well. And as I say, with the players that we have, there's no reason why we can't do that. You know, it's all there for me. And maybe I sound like a madman being overconfident and so positive. I think it's all there for the taking. Yes, great manager, great team Chelsea are. But we have great players. And it's time for the players to stop hiding behind coaches. Now, I don't like this thing saying it's the players and not the manager. And I don't think it is the players and not the manager. But you've got to stop hiding behind coaches, because there is a problem with our players at Manchester United. And if this rumour is true that they're upset about not being consulted about the new manager, that shows there's an attitude problem. Because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is like the father of a bunch of spoilt children. Gave them everything they ever wanted and thought they didn't have to work or earn for anything. That's what work or earn anything, right? So that's what my concern is with these players now, because we're getting a very big disciplined guy, ruthless, relentless. And by the way, this is a guy who's going to want control of the whole footballing side of the club. That's why I think he won't relinquish the manager's job. He will do it all, just like Sir Alex used to do it. And I mentioned this yesterday. People saying there's no such manager like that anymore. And I said yesterday, and I must reiterate this because people keep on talking about this. It's the fact that, you know, there isn't a manager like this about, and it's Ralph Rangnick. I still can't say that surname. Never mind. We'll continue calling him Ralph. But yeah, this is a Sir Alex Ferguson. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. People keep on saying, oh, well, Ralph's only won a couple of trophies. He's only worked for small clubs. Why Ralph? Why is he coming in? Well, because Ralph is a pioneer. It's a bit like Arsene Wenger. Before he came to Arsenal, he was at the J-League, right? And then he went to Monaco. Not the biggest of places to kind of manage in football. But then he went to Arsenal and changed the way they played. Before Wenger went there, they were a long ball football, rough and ready club and team. Remember George Graham, remember Bruce Rioch. I mean, Bruce Rioch tried to change the culture there, but he was unsuccessful. Wenger didn't just revolutionise Arsenal's football, he revolutionised the Premier League. And this is why he's got a huge role at UEFA or FIFA now. A lot of people respect this guy, and there's rumours he's coming back to Arsenal. A guy I would have loved to have managed Manchester United. So that is who Ralph is. He is this pioneering footballing guy who has helped create so many managerial careers, but he hasn't had a big club. But he has built a couple of clubs up from the very bottom to the top. He's capable of doing something. So, why now? Why Manchester United? Paul Merson said, why is he just a temporary manager if he's so good? And Paul Merson said it's because they don't know what they're doing. No, Paul, you haven't been paying attention, have you? He's going to be our manager for 6 months, then become probably our sporting director or a football consultant. He will then sort the whole club with his pioneering ways and decision making. So that's why he's not a permanent manager, Paul. I still think he can do everything from the manager's hot seat. It will be interesting. But here's the problem, and congratulations to Paul Merson, from Rodney Marsh he regenerated into Paul Merson, and these horrible takes keep on happening. I know these TV stations and radio shows like these hot takes, but ultimately, in terms of Ralph, Manchester United, for the first time in their history in a long time, have made a great decision. And also, with the interim thing, it may not work out. So even Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had to prove himself before he became permanent. Now, Ralph doesn't have to prove himself. But in a way, he has never been at a big club before. And having him as a temporary manager is a really good idea. Listen, I don't know what the future holds. This decision could end up being another bad one. But ultimately, you've got to try. He is the kind of person who builds clubs. You don't normally get fixers at big clubs like Manchester United. They go to small clubs. That's why Ralph's only been to small clubs. But he's wanted a big appointment for many, many years. His name's been mentioned for the last couple of years with big jobs. And so this is the biggest, this is the biggest job of his life, of his career. So he's got he's going to have the magnifying glass, zoomed in on him, as well as the club and as well as the players. It's up to everyone now to roll up their sleeves and rebuild Manchester United. This has been the MUFC Daily. I'm Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. Like, share, comment down below. Please, what did I say? What was I going to say? I've totally forgotten my way. Anyway, yeah, so like, share, comment down below, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss this perfection. And I'll see you again tomorrow with even more MUFC Daily. I really am losing it. I'll be reacting tomorrow to Manchester United versus Chelsea, or Chelsea versus Manchester United even. Remember, I predicted a 1-0 win for the Reds. Can they do it? Well, find out later on today. It's exciting, isn't it?